Hello, and welcome back to a playthrough of Age of Wonders 4. There is a lot to go over. The last DLC we played was Primal Fury. We enjoyed that. We liked the changes they made to that. And Eldritch Realms is, again, more DLC and lots of overhauls. Good overhauls, mind you, to game mechanics and that sort of thing. I'm not going to go over individual changes. If you want that, honestly, play the game yourself or check the change log. But I will be going over some pretty massive things they have changed or added to the game, is the best way to put it. First, they have added 2 story maps. That's what we'll be doing this playthrough. We'll be doing both story maps. As always, we will start on normal difficulty. And if I hit a wall, or I get my ass kicked, we will drop it down to easy, because that's the way I roll. I'm not going to sit here and play on hard or brutal, and beat my head into the wall again and again and again, for hours and hours and hours. That's just never been my thing. Especially on strategy games. But the first thing I want to show off, if I click new game, check this out.
Choose your
Unknown realm. Check that. Look at this. You can literally just, alright, great. I don't know what's in there. When you play, it randomizes literally everything. And you discover the realm as you play. So as you play, this trait will become known. This trait will become known. This trait will become known. You can even go in and say, I'm going to edit which traits. Great. In this slot, I only want... I'm going to have to scroll down. Alright. I never want the librarian. Librarian rules an empire on this realm. I never want the Iron Emperor or the Primal Dispute to spawn. And the others can spawn, but not these ones. Or you can go the other way, right? And say, edit. No, what is it? It's customized. Sorry. I always want regenerating infestations active. But everything can be excluded. Yes. Isn't that what this is? So if the check marks... If the check mark's there, it's an option. If it's not there, it won't be an option. So there is that. Yeah, Action War is a rough one, usually. Right, that is the dragon. Actually, I never had a problem with dragons. The ones I always have the most problem with is the Iron Emperor. I don't remember the Druidic Alliance. I don't think I've ever played them. I've done all the others, but the Iron Emperor I've never beaten, except on easy. I've beaten and played all the other and Druidic Alliance. I don't think I've seen that one before. It's been in there, but I apparently I've never played it. But the Iron Emperor I can only ever beat on easy, or normal. So I'm still trying to get my grasp on how to beat that one. So that's cool.
Choose your
But we are playing the story realms. So Tharu Ka, Shadows and Portraits, Eldritch Realms Story Realm 1. There are 2 of these. They have added 3 new tomes. 2 based around shadow and magic. 1 based around order and chaos. In addition to that, they have added a new ruler type. When we get into character creation, we'll get into that for those of you wondering. If you're watching on YouTube after the fact of the live play, this first video will be character species creation, because there is a lot to dig into there. So, Shadows and Portraits. Select. So, again, we will play on normal. So, escape a prison on the edge of the astral void. Join a rebellion against its wardens and lead your people towards freedom. Reveal a plot that will decide the fate of Athla and the Astral Sea. Now, that screams to me, we're the bad guys. I suppose you could be a good guy. But we're going to be playing bad guys. So we're looking at the Umbral Abyss, which is a new map layer. So now there is Overworld, Underworld, and the Umbral Abyss. So the Umbral Abyss creeps over this realm, opening gates to an Eldritch dimension and its invading horrors. An additional map layer called the Umbral Abyss is added, which can be reached through Umbral gates. Enter the Umbral Abyss for forbidden treasures at a great risk. Infestations and dwellings from the Umbral Abyss will creep into the surface underground, spreading gloom. Its gloom terrain will suffer from Umbral Malady. And that is less vision range, cannot regenerate, and you lose hit points every turn on the map. Megacities, sort of immense megacities. Oh! I've always wanted to try this trait, I just haven't gotten around to it. So we can only have one city. Interesting. Cannot absorb, migrate, or settle new cities. Cities can perform province annexation. +5 provinces away. This is going to be a very interesting map already. You can only have one city. The underground cannot be inhabited. You can probably expand there, but you can't have a city there. And there are no free cities. Interesting. Okay, so we're obviously going to create a faction.
What is your people's
They have
form?
added insectoid races. I'm not sure why they would have boobs, but whatever. And the Cyrol, which are basically angelic people. I believe they have added the new trait. That would make for, I think, a very quick game. I need to take a look at the Chosen Destroyers tree, but playing on your own, a random map with megacities and Chosen Destroyers would be interesting. Wow. So we can only have... It didn't say... Hold on. I need to go back and check something.
Your journey starts here.
It increases how far away we can annex. However, it does not decrease the maximum... It does not increase the maximum number of territories, provinces, a city can. So we are still capped at 30. We can go up to a minimum of, I'll say, at least 8 away? And a maximum of 12, depending on what traits you take.
Your journey starts here.
Interesting. Anyways, I don't remember Cacophony being in before this. Does it tell me? I forget. Does it say this was at... Alright. I think Cacophony is new, which is adjacent enemies have a chance to miss their attack. So that, all enemies without this trait have a base 15% chance to fumble, and it goes up or down. There. So I think we're going to do that one. I'm not going to change this too much. We don't care about the adaptation. Yes. So yeah, so I think... Right? So I think that makes it 10 to 12. Because I think if you have... Yeah. If you max out a city without the nature tree upgrade, I believe the maximum distance away you can get is 5. I could be wrong about that. I'm still learning things about this game. So that, we are now at 10. Okay, and empowered by magic. Alright, so there's adaptable and cold-blooded, elusive, hardy, mount masters, sharp eyes could be a good one, arcane focus, not a bad one. Bulwark, I want ceaseless cacophony. Cold-blooded will hold out on. Empowered by magic is new, I believe, and I had that confirmed from Tiger Eye 085. Units become stronger when they sustain magical damage. So basically, once per turn, when you take non-physical damage, that's weird. I understand why it does that, it's just weird. we get strengthened for 3 turns, which is interesting. I think, I'm not sure, I guess it would be too powerful if every time you got hit you got strengthened, but that is interesting. Fast recuperation, which could be an interesting one. Ferocious. Herbivore, keen side to light-footed. Poisonous, Quick reflexes also could be a good one. Resistance, always good. Sneaky, strong, tenacious, tough, defensive. I'm going to take out Overwhelm. Pack. I want pack tactics. The difference being Overwhelm is when standing next to another unit with Overwhelm. Pack, that does increase our chance to crit. However, pack tactics, and it doesn't stack. Pack tactics is, attacks deal plus 10% damage per friendly unit adjacent to the target. So if we can get a full surround, I do not know. I believe it is capped at plus 50%. I do not think you can stack it to 60. But this means as long as we have a unit next to an enemy, we will gain a damage bonus. Whereas this one, there are a lot of situations where it just will not trigger in combat. So I'm going to do pack tactic. Athletics, hideous stench, we had fun with last time. Resilient, death beetle mounts are new ones, but we're not going to do that. Pestilence, escape, cavalry, different mounts. Oh, they added raptor mounts. Neat. Right. That's true with pack tactics. But the thing with pack tactics, even if you only have, even if you're one-on-one, a ranged unit will get a bonus. Overwhelm tactics will almost always trigger with a backline, but your frontline units, sometimes it won't trigger, right? Or there could be situations where you have to spread units out, so there's a space in between every unit to prevent AoE. So like I said, for overwhelm tactics, there are situations where it just will not trigger. Whereas pack tactics, you're almost always guaranteed outside of the first turn of combat, right? Basically, it's this way. 50% chance to trigger, 90% chance to trigger is how I look at it. I'd rather have the 90% chance to trigger. Plus, I like the idea of building a race where, we're giving them debuffs and buffing our, we're a very buff race. So that's what I'm going to try to make. That only leaves us a single point. So of that, we don't care about the adaptation. That leaves adaptable, cold-blooded, elusive, which isn't a bad one. Party, Mount Masters, Shibais. I'm going to just take cold-blooded, because why not? And we are going to play the Insectoids.
What is their origin culture?
Now, the big thing here is in Primal Fury they added, okay, so this is Materium Reaver. So much like they did with Primal, right, you've got Primal, which is your Primal, and then there's, here's a broad spectrum of what these guys specialize in. They're Primal. Here's their focus, right? They now have made Mystic do the same thing. Mystic is the broad focus. And then there is here is what we specialize in. Given the fact they have done this with Primal and Mystic, I would like to see them do this with every single culture. It does mean some cultures would go away, but I'm okay with it. So I'm going to say this wrong. Feudal into high. So there is a broad high broad focus. We are a high culture. And then you choose, okay, well, maybe you're high feudal, and you get 1 point of this, 1 point, 1 point of order, 1 point of nature affinity. Boom. Maybe you're high. I guess high magic would be a good one, right? High. What would they be? What are some fantasy tropes? So yeah, so like high magic, high feudal, high engineering or something like that. And then with industrious, you can go industrious machines, industrious reavers, high conquistadors, that sort of thing. Barbarians, chaos, so that every affinity has one broad. So I would say feudal, high for order, barbarian, primal, industrious, dark, and mystic. And then there is a much more focused, alright, so you can do mystic, shadow, primal, storm, barbarian, order, chaos, barbarian, chaos, order, that sort of thing. Yes, and they have, for those wondering, they have already confirmed this game has been so successful, they are going to make DLC past originally it was only these 4 DLC. Actually, I think originally it was 3 DLC, and then they expanded it to these 4, and now they have said they are going to go further. And something I would like to see is turning it into every culture is one broad culture: mystic, dark, order, primal, industrious, high. And then, like here, there is a focus. So they've changed mystic from being just, I think, double magic, double astral to astral, and now you get to choose. And our 3 choices are attunement. Your people are versatile spellcasters attuned to their arcane. Units gain attunement star blades, which they have changed. It is no longer you get +1 damage of everything. Now it depends on... No, wait. It was +1 fire, lightning, frost, I think, originally. Now it depends on the spell you cast. If you cast a spirit spell, an order spell, you get spirit damage at, that sort of thing, which I like better. Astral echoes through exploration research, and we can use echo casting, which allows the use of astral echo to replace casting points, letting the user cast spells beyond the limit that casting points would otherwise allow. Practical spells that cost more combat casting points than remain may substitute them with astral echoes. Strategic spells may be rushed while they are priming in the spellbook, costing astral echoes to substitute the remaining world casting points. Ooh, neat. Tiger Eye has said they're dabbling with a Siron mystic summoning, which is neat. The next one is potential, which I'm confused on how it works. So you'll notice we don't get the astral echoes. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking, is just a ton of spamming. So I think we're going to lean into it, but we're going to show all of these. Your people experimental spellcasters seeking knowledge in their arcane. Combat spells are always overcharged the first time they are cast each combat. So the first time you cast a specific spell in combat, it is overcharged. So what that means is combat spells may gain an overcharge, granting them increased effectiveness based on the type of spells. More damage, more healing, more resistance, more sundering. Interesting. Combat enchantments allow another spell to be cast that turn. And summon spells get +2 strength. I assume that is capped. The combat enchantments is capped to only triggering once per turn. Otherwise, if you go a heavy enchantment spell, you could potentially cast, if you had enough combat casting points and mana, you could potentially cast every enchantment in your spellbook in a single turn. And that feels a bit broken. But yeah, so the first time I'm trying to think, you cast the fire damage spell, it gets a 25% damage post. If you cast it again, it should act as normal. The first time you summon, there's a summon for, you summon the vines. The first time you cast it, they get 2 strengthened. If you summon it again, it's just normal. So, use spells to exploit Arcane Inspiration, which is first wisdom spell Arcanus. Each spell has potential benefit that can be extracted by using after gaining enough inspiration for it. Combat, which spells used at least once for each use. Once a spell has gained maximum inspiration, it can be exploited, locking the spell temporarily in exchange in return for the effect. Locking the spell away temporarily in return for the effect of its potential. Randomly assigned, scaling with the tier of the spell. Interesting. So, if you cast, we'll say, Summon Vines in combat, and you win, you then can then say, next combat, or for the next X amount of turns, I cannot use that spell, but I get a new 10 turns. Okay. Tiger Eye saying it gets locked away for 10 turns, but you get an economic bonus. So spells you don't use often, what you may do is cast it once, right? To get the inspiration, and then I'm not gonna be using that spell for 10 turns. Give me that bonus. Interesting potential. I feel like this one's going to go through some changes, and then there's Summoning. For people with powerful summoners specializing in magical creatures. Magic origin units gain Attunement Astral Resonance. So anytime a friendly spell is cast, they get healed for 10 hit points. We can collect astral echoes. We can use Echo Infusion, allows the use of astral echoes to empower magic origin units, granting them additional ranks. The cost of this infusion is based on the remaining experience, so we can supercharge the experience gain of summoned units. And we gain for every friendly magic origin unit. For every magic origin unit in combat, we get +5 morale, which is interesting. I think this has been changed. For some reason, I remember them doing a stream and this having reduced mana cost, but I could be wrong. They changed it, which is fine. I think we're gonna go Attunement. Because, like Tiger Eye said, I like the idea of just spamming spells. Oh, returns 5 every turn, or you get per turn. Well, there's spamming spells there. Oh, I feel like I missed something. Oh, right. I apologize. I did miss something in potential. And that's distance. So when an enemy overcharge. Oh, hold on. So we inflict dissonance. So basically we can stack dissonance up to 5 times. So if we hit someone, if we stack this 5 times, the next time we cast an overcharged spell, an enemy unit will take 20 bonus lightning damage. So there is some combo there. Again, this feels like... So Attunement and Summoning are pretty easy to understand, to get a grasp of, that sort of thing. Potential feels like high technical ceiling, right? High reward. Like, you have to know what you're doing to get the full potential out of this, but if you can, it pays off big. But if you can't maximize that potential, you're going to be handicapping yourself heavily. I like that, honestly. It may not be something I ever do on stream, but like I said, I still play this game for fun. I like that concept. But we're gonna take attunement. So we're gonna be Mystic Attunement. Okay.
What defines their society?
And again, trait points. So, because we're the... Yeah, stacking debuffs. Stacking like Lightning Turret and those damage spells and then going in. Heavy Alpha Strike potential. So, they added, I believe, Keepers of Knowledge, which is a good one. The knowledge... They know knowledge is power and power demands respect. Unlocking a new research skill grants plus 10 allegiance. With all free cities, there are no free cities on this map. We don't care. We gain plus 100 Empire relations with all free cities. And Empires for 50 turns when unlocking a new tome. Again, doesn't matter. But, well, and gain plus 20 knowledge for each open borders treaty with another Empire. Again, iffy in this particular map. But we do start with All-Seeing. And we're the good guys. Or maybe this is something I unlocked in the previous one, and I just didn't notice, which is a possibility. Because the new one here is Umbral Disciples. The Shadows Whisper and the Disciples Listeners. Yeah. And remember, there are no free cities in this map. No free cities, one large city, that's what we're playing. Start with Ritual of the Gloom Veil unlocked. Cities may build the Altar of Marching Gloom. Your ruler gains Tyrant Retinue. What's that? There are summon one splitting, great. Doesn't work in water combat, not sure. Don't think we have to worry about it. Minus 10 alignment, and we start with Umbral Flesh active, which is a minor race transformation. Neat. So we're definitely gonna pick that one. The question is the next one we pick. Now, we're already... Yes! Team games, it would be very powerful. We could double up on Evil, and pick powerful evokers. Right? But this is just at the start of combat, which isn't bad. Silver Tongued is pointless. Devious Watchers. Not a bad one. Iffy. Scions and Evil. Not the worst one either. I don't know if we have a shock unit. We have a spear unit and a shield unit. I'm not sure we have a shock unit. So I think we're definitely going to take Umbral Disciples. And then, I think either Mystic, right? Or we could dip in. Yeah. That would be an interesting combination. Chosen Destroyers with Mega Cities would be interesting. We could go Chaos. Prolific Swarmers could be a good one. It just means... Plus, our non-magic origin units require less unit upkeep. Chosen Scions of True. Will lack a strong front. And it would guarantee the shield unit we start with is strong enough. But the other way to go, right, since we're leaning into magic. Oh, this is summoning spells. Sorry, for something, right? We could actually get Hermit Kingdom. Mega Cities with Hermit Kingdom works. Gifted Casters is also a good one. Right? More casting points, less spell cost. But I am actually thinking of dipping into Prolific Swarmers. So all our tier 1 units start with +1 rank. Yeah. Our city will grow faster than expected. And we can support more armies. But I think we're going to do prolific swarms here.
Choose your first tome of magic.
So the 2 new tomes they have, of the 2 new tomes they have added, one is the Tome of the Tentacle. Yeah, mystical summoning mana. They did. I think if we go back to society trait real quick.
Their society?
Mystic. I think this
culture.
At one point in development, this maybe they just mentioned it in stream. This did reduce magic upkeep for summon units, and then you could combine that with
defines their society?
mana channelers for ridiculous amounts, like just obscene amounts of summoned units, right? And they had a cap for a while, then they were like, nah, screw it. We'll just... I believe the cap is still in there. There is now a cap on how low you can reduce upkeep for anyone. All units. There's a cap on upkeep reduction. Which I think is 50... It might be 60%. But I'll say it's at least 50%. So even if you combine this with the general trait that reduces upkeep of all units by 20%, you're not going to get the full bonus. Because it would be too powerful. So, but we're going to take prolific swarmers.
Choose your
we're going to take... So this is
magic.
one of the tomes, which is Tome of the Tentacle. There's a tier 3 tome that is also Shadow Astral. And then there is another tier 3 tome, which is Chaos Order. Yeah. And that's why. I don't think they care about battle, but on a strategic level, okay, is upkeep now discount? Because that wasn't always in the game. That was specifically added Eldritch Realms DLC. Up until the Eldritch Realms DLC, there was no cap on upkeep discounts, as far as I am aware. Because there were sometimes I got upkeep down on tier 5 units down to I was only paying 10% of it. So, Tome of the Tentacle, conjured tentacle mutations and creatures from the depths to restrain and constrict your enemies, keeping them right where you want them. Shadow Affinity, Astral Affinity, we get Manifest Tentacle, which is a skill, so that's neat. Which I think we're going to just throw on every hero. Extra casting points. We can conjure a tentacle. Probably going to end up being our most used spell. We have the Constrictor, which is a tier 2 polearm unit, which has a pull, so we're looking at good terrain control, that sort of thing. The other thing I was looking at in Sectoid...
What is your people's form?
Traits. Not cold-blooded. Oh, we can't. Right? Is light-footed. But if we take pack tactics, we can't take light-footed. And I'd rather have... Actually, this could be combined with the Constrictor. You could literally pull in an enemy, pull them in, they think, oh, we're only dealing with one unit, and then all of a sudden, your front line moves through your back line, and now their unit's surrounded. It's an interesting idea, which could be fun to play with, but I think we're going to stick with pack tactics and cold blood.
Choose your first tome of magic.
Gain base 30% chance to inflict constricted, means they can't move, and they take 10 damage at the end of the turn, and we get Tendril Labyrinth, Golden City's ability. At the start, conjure 3 tentacles. So, Yeah, pull it towards you, surround it, then attack. But it's that thing, it's like they... Well, I guess it's more against human opponents. But combine that with light-footed, like they move a little too far forward. Oh, not a big deal. They can pull me in, all their back lines blocking their front line, into, oh shit, their front line can move through their back line at no penalty. So I assume this conjures a max of 3 tentacle units, not 3 tentacle units per enemy in battle. Still very powerful, very, very good early game defense. Alright, and the final thing they've added is Eldritch Sovereign. This is the new ruler type. An Eldritch ruler with powers beyond mortal comprehension. Use thralls to cast powerful ritual spells. Start with Clairvoyant Ritual and Enthrall Population. Interesting. Sacrifice. Essentially on this map, sacrifice odd population to gain points. Eldritch Sovereigns have a 5 mana unit upkeep and cannot equip leg and mount items. Eldritch Sovereigns have access to powerful hero and signature skills. Specifically with it. So we're going to obviously go Eldritch Sovereigns. So we are that which mortal minds cannot comprehend.
Reveal yourself.
We are insectoid. What are the body types? An insectoid one? There's tentacles. Oh, that's an interesting one. That's insectoid. That's more fishy. Water insect. That's a lot of tentacles. They do float. Okay. We're going insect-like. I think we keep the back type. Or is that shoulder type? Right. So what are the shoulder types? Actually, yeah, hold on. Actually, here, we'll put the shoulder type with this one and see what the back types are. So there's none. Oh, that's it. I like that one better. For insects. Eyes on wings. Insect wings. Oh, just glowy magic. Oh, that could be a fun one. Floating swords. More floating swords. Stabbing him in the back. Feathered wings. Demon wings. The moving arms. And that. I think, though, I'm gonna go the glowy bits. Oh, you can adjust arm length. Ooh. I mean, I think we're gonna make that creepy. This deep. Nice and gaunt. And then shoulder type. Bones, maybe? That looks like rocky outgrowth. I guess... Sure, we'll do the bones. Oh, there are different heads. Zoom into the head here. So we gotta... Ooh. I mean... There's something to be said about a normal woman's head on top of this body. Skeleton with an eye. A cyclops could be a fun one. Helmet. Ooh, long flowing hair. That's actually even more disturbing than the first one. And okay. Cthulhu, of course. Cthulhu with a hood. Oh, just infinity. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Base skin color. I'll go for it. Take your time, our choices are blue, teal, red, black, pink. Not a fan of the white. Baby teal? What's the accent color? With the black, and then we can do a metal color. There you go. That's creepy. And we can adjust the head size. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous on everything. I think we do average. Oh, right. Economic. Well, actually, what are the options? Pure save. I think we would be a strategic warlord. Also, there are different relics. So there's the Relic of the Mind. A Relic of the Mind, a long-range weapon that deals physical damage and bypasses enemy defenses. And we start with Delirium. Target enemy unit has a base 90% chance of being infected with insanity for 1 turn. And Sunder defense and resistance for 3 turns. That's really good. Flesh, which is poison, and inflicts decaying and poisons. And we start with Eldritch Rituals, which could boost our science. We've done a lot of poison ones, so I'm leaning away from that. Relic of Havoc deals fire damage, and we start with Eldritch Phase, allowing us to damage, and then Relic of the Cosmos, which is a little of everything. Summon Wisps for Thrall. I'm thinking either Mind or Havoc. I think we do Mind. Delirium sounds fun. And that is the build I'm going with. I'm trying to do something where they just mess with people's minds. And now the flag. How about dark blue? Sure, pink. Pantheon emblems. So the ones they've added in Eldritch Realms. Tentacle, this. A lot in Shadow Affinity. Oh, I like that one. Either that one or they've added this. Actually, that's a good one. And change it to... That really pops. Yeah, either this for that nice pop or this. I think we're gonna go this one. Make it black? Oh, that pop is even better. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with black. Well, purple works. White. Oh, that's interesting. And then get the negative? Or go with red. No, I kind of like black on blue better. With that teal. Alright. And this is the race we'll be playing. This is the end of the first video. I'm not going to do my normal spiel. Because I'm just going to... I'm going to cut this out. Actually, you know what? I will. So this has been the character creation. I hope you enjoyed the look. There are many more changes, but those have all been like little tweaks and balance and that sort of thing. I think I covered the major things they have added. And this is what we'll be going through on the first map. Probably play a different race on the second map. Keep that in mind. Figuring what you're doing. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. Smash that bell, all that jazz. Even better, check out other videos and playlists I've made. Best is come on over and check me out when I stream live every Sunday through Friday, like permitting. And until we see each other again, remember to be kind to one another. Hello, this is Gohan the Chinchilla, and we hope you're having a good day, as do I. As always, we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to follow, like, subscribe, or comment. Or even better, come on over to twitch.tv/SparkyTDK and watch me live every Monday through Friday. Thank you for your support.